Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Don't worry, it's not that I haven't changed my clothes between videos, but yes, today, as you can see, on the same day that I filmed with BMW Group and seeing their training facilities, then of course I'm here, as I introduced you last time, with my beautiful S-Class, which I love so much, and of course it has been with me for the last year and a half. But as I mentioned before, BMW are knocking at my door with multiple cars. Of course, the M5, as you know, the M4 competition as well. And what they said to me now is they're like, Anish, you think this is comfy, you should try out the other thing that we've got that's the top of their range. And of course it is the beautiful BMW 7 Series. Now this one here is the long wheelbase model. I'm blocking the car, but as you can see, the first thing that really hits you here is this massive, massive grille. And let's do that little direct comparison if Blue just kind of steps back here and sees. Which car do you think is looking more aggressive? Because to me, on the first glance, it actually looks like the 7 Series is. It's got more of a, I don't know, the way I basically said it, I talked to James about this as well, you know, from BMW Park Lane. Basically, I just told him that I think that if this hit you, you'd probably be okay. But I feel like if this hit you, it'll probably like grate you like a cheese grater, I think. That's my kind of thinking. But it does look really good. It's really imposing. I think there is a little bit of a takeaway here from Rolls-Royce, potentially, by lifting the front of the grille up a little bit and kind of arching it over slightly here. So, ooh. Interesting to see what the S-Class does for their new one that will be coming out later. But quick look around the car. James is going to shout to me what colour this is. Quality grey. I can't hear you. Donington grey. It is Donington grey, James is telling me. Which in the sun, I'll tell you, you guys know I like my dark coloured black cars, but this does look really, really good. Nice wheels here at the front here as well. Really good, kind of like that two-tone effect as well here. So you've got the black bit here, and then with the silver bits looking really nice. I will not tell you what size this are, but James will tell me as well. 22s. He's on, see, look, he's on point today, isn't he? He really is. Okay, James' final answer was actually wrong. It was not 22s. I told him, he didn't listen to me. This is, James, I'll give you another chance, they're 20s. The one thing that I hate about big rims on a car is that you start to feel the bumps in the road a lot more, no matter how good these cars are at kind of absorbing that. I know the S-Class has this thing where it kind of scans the road ahead, so it kind of adjusts the suspension based on if there's a pothole or something, which James is going to tell me this probably does have as well. Yeah, it does. But yeah, so nice to have the kind of smaller, even though it doesn't look like it, but the smaller rims on here. I think on those I have got, let's not show them because they're slightly curved, but yeah, they are a lot smaller definitely. So that's going to be an interesting comparison. Can we go for a bigger rim size, which looks of course a lot better, but still get the comfortability is that a word? As you can see, this is definitely a long wheelbase model. Let's just give you an idea of how long this is. So from here, from the front wheel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look at the size of this back door. Look at the size of it, it's huge. It's massive. I don't know if I'm seeing this as that it's longer than the S-Class, because I think like it feels as though it is. I'm gonna obviously see that a little bit more when I'm inside the car. But first impressions, let me know in the comments, what are we thinking? S-Class 7 Series, and is that going to change by the end of the video? Quick sneak peek inside. Again, look at the size of this door. Honestly, I'm nearly at full stretch of my hands. This door is huge. Okay, so I think BMW UK know that I like light interiors, so that's why they've sent this car. Super comfy, very, very nice. I almost feel like a little kid. Look, my feet are hanging off the floor. I almost feel like a little kid getting in. I don't know if that's different. I don't feel that so much with the S-Class. I feel like I'm being wayward already here. Initial impressions, fantastic, beautiful, big screen here. Cannot wait to test this out on the drive to Farnborough, where we're going to the head of BMW UK. And of course, you guys want to know proper information about this car, which I'm not very knowledgeable on, but of course the head of basically big cars at BMW UK is going to talk us through. I think his name is Suk, so we're waiting for him to talk us through that. And we're going to enjoy the drive over, but more of a look around the car here. One thing that I'm really interested to find out about is the boot here, and I'll tell you why in a second, but let's just pop this open if it does. Oh, sorry, apologies for that. Is pretty big, Does it fit in a niche bin? Let's find out. But the more important question is, that yes, does it fit 2 suitcases? It looks like it's got the height for potentially 2 here. And the reason why I say this is I travel, of course, a lot, as you guys know. If you haven't checked out my travel videos, go and, I haven't done this for a while, Blue. Which way am I pointing?
The other way.
Okay,
yep.
Click up there and go and watch some of my travel videos. The latest one was edited by Blue, which was fantastic, and it was my trip to Portugal. And yeah, like I said, I travel a lot, and I always travel with 2 suitcases, so it's really important. And the S-Class, can you imagine you're driving around with it, you've got 1 suitcase in the back, and sometimes there's 1 suitcase on the front seat because it doesn't really fit in. So that is an important test here that I need to do. But looking good here, let's close that. And if for regular viewers of Anish know that, course, this side is the same as the other side of the car as well, which BMW have done quite nicely. Okay, that is my first little look around. I want to jump in the back, and we're going to kind of get these cars a little bit more side by side as we go to Farnborough. But like I told you, let me know in the comments, first impressions. Do we like this? Do we not like it? Do we prefer the S-Class? Do love that car. But look what I said here. I mean, I know the door is big, but it doesn't feel as big. Look at that. See, just impressions of me kind of just opening like that here. But while this car is here, we should have a look at it and just remind, if you guys have not seen a video in this car, click up there. Blue's going to put a link up there to the kind of full walk around when I got this car, all the technology on it as well. It's a little bit dirty right now, so not fair. But yeah, see again, look at this, right? I'm sitting here, I've got my foot on the ground. But in the other car, I was literally sitting like this. Interesting. Older TVs as well in this car as well, but you can definitely see that the door is smaller on this. I do like this car though, it is very comfy. But I'm interested to see what that looks like. Okay, enough talking from me, and more comfortable driving, sitting at the back and enjoying the 7 Series. Okay, now, although I will be spending most of the time in the back of the car with the S-Class as well, what I still want to do is I want to drive it, because like I said, I've heard some very good things about how this car drives. So I'm going to take it for a short drive before we head off to Farnborough, kind of on the way, and then James will jump in and drive so that I can kind of sit at the back. But let's see what's going on here. I think in this one, I don't know what the engine is right now, so I'm going to ask James and find out. But let's see how it performs first. Before we know all the stats about what's in this car, let me just see how it feels, because sometimes I feel like if you know what's in the engine, you start saying, oh yes, it's very powerful and it's got all these things. So without any knowledge whatsoever, let me drive it and see what it's like. Blue, time to jump in and go for a drive?
Yep, let's do it.
Let's do it. We won't go for a drive just yet. We will wait. We're very professional over here though. Thank you, BMW Park Lane as well. Check out their links in the description. I think that's probably why he's left it locked so I can talk about it. But yes, BMW Park Lane. Very, very supportive. Very, very nice dealership. James is your man to contact, but he doesn't want to let me in the car because he's locked it. Okay, so I'm driving the car. Let's just say we can't give proper first impressions because I'm just driving it out of the De Vere estate, which of course I've been here for the whole BMW group and looking at the academy and how they essentially train a lot of staff, apprenticeships and all of that. So make sure you check out that video. The link will be up there to go and watch it. So as we're driving out here, first impressions of how does the car feel? It feels pretty much the same size as the S-Class. Now, I'm going to look into the stats before I talk to you the next part of this video to tell you exactly if it is bigger or if it is smaller. But yeah, it feels exactly the same. You definitely got the front raised bonnet there, and you haven't got the kind of Mercedes badge to tell you where exactly the front of the bonnet is. So that's a little bit off-putting to me, first of all, but otherwise, we're going to drive out of the De Vere estate. I believe it is right to go out. Is it, James? Yeah, we're going to head right and head out of here. Turning circle on a big car, still feels really good. Very light on the steering. I've got it in all just normal kind of comfortable settings right now. For me, even with these 20-inch alloys, and I think I've got something like 16s or something on the other one, feels pretty good. We're going to go over a bump here. Very, very fluid. Very, very nice. In fact, I think that might be slightly better. Sometimes the S-Class kind of overcompensates and you get more of a like a wavy thing here, where now it just kind of absorbs the bump as opposed to bounces you over it. We're driving around this beautiful estate here, as you can see, in De Vere. Very, very nice place. Kind of a perfect setting for this car as well. But yeah, looks very, very good. In fact, you know what? I'm going to stop here and just park the two cars in front and get a nice picture before we drive off. And now we're obviously driving out with the S-Class, as you can see in front, with my beautiful number plate, looking very good there as well. But yeah, like I said, just kind of these first impressions of just driving the car quite slowly as well. I'm going to drive through a pothole just to experience it. Wow, okay, that was actually quite, I wish we got that on camera, that was actually quite a big pothole. It's interesting how it just absorbs it. I'm going to go through another one now again. You can hardly feel it. So James has just told me that when we're talking about suspension here, of course, that something to do with the steering that I can actually control on air suspension as well. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So that's obviously helping with what I'm feeling right now, right? Okay, that's making it a lot more comfortable. Genuinely surprised, because with the size of those wheels, if you had that in the S-Class, you would feel them a lot more. So look, has this come out after that one has? Yes. So they have got a little bit of a one-up on that. I don't know when the new S-Class is due. I would expect it to be, I think, next year, which means we're going to be seeing it, sorry, end of next year, which means we might be seeing it towards the end of this year or early next year. And of course, Mercedes are always fantastic in their products, and I've always been a big fan. But the one thing that I'm going to experience at the back, which I think I'll know a lot better, is their whole kind of infotainment system is just a lot more fluid and works a lot better. But yeah, just driving the car here, we're in a 730D here, so we're in the long wheelbase version. So we've got a 3-litre engine. Of course, diesel, that comes into question now. Would you want a diesel? Do you want petrol? I'm not so sure right now, depending on where you, of course, are in the UK as well. Maybe if you're in London, that makes a bit of a difference. But wow, it's really handling these bumps really, really well. We've got to drive slowly here as we head out because, of course, this is a golf course area. But yeah, first impressions, car is fluid to drive. Do I really want to know about how fast this can go and how much power there is? Not so much, to be honest. I think you guys are also interested about what it's going to be like at the back. So let's park up at the end of the De Vere estate and jump into the most comfortable seat in the car. Okay, so we are now at the back of the car. James is very kindly driving us, and I'm going to get familiar with all of the toys in here. Like I said, we're heading to BMW UK headquarters, which you guys should have seen from a previous video with the M5 where we put the kit on it. The link is up there, so go and watch that as well. But yeah, I'm just going to have a lot of fun here, I believe. Oh, look at that. Got a tablet to play with here. This is cool. I love tech in cars. You guys know that I have a Tesla, and I love that car because of the tech. I've got Channel 4 playing on the TV right now on a wide screen, which is fantastic, and I can control everything in the car here. So like sun protection. Let's close this blind. Yeah, that's cool. I can close the blind at the front there as well if I want to. I can control a bunch of stuff, which is fantastic. And then the seats you can control from this as well. And the most important thing, which is lacking in the S-Class, which they need to update, and hopefully it is coming because I've seen it on some of the newer cars, is that this works very quickly. If I tap something, it's immediately there. Same as well on these screens. But look, I'm going to pop that back in there for now. Oh, I love it so much. Just want to press everything. What comes out of here? Look at that, how that opens as well, you know, just kind of moves in. And all the controls for the seat are on this side, so they're no longer on the door, which I love because this is kind of out of the way. It keeps it cleaner, classier, much, much better. Okay, I'm going to sit back and enjoy this ride. Okay, we have arrived at BMW UK head offices, which you guys have seen before in the previous video with the M5. I'm not going to talk too much about this now, even though I've just enjoyed this, but my first kind of impressions after about a 40-minute drive, unbelievably comfy. I'm genuinely quite shocked. I mean, this is a serious video of me actually potentially changing this car. I'm not just trying to show it. BMW Park Lane are genuinely trying to get me into the car because I have shown some interest as well, and everything basically is better. I think that the only thing right now that is not better is the fact that you guys know I have a leg rest in my S-Class. It does recline slightly more as well in the S-Class, I think, but I've realized through the use of that car that you only want it to recline to a certain level. Listen, we're going to go and see Suk now, who's basically, I think, the head of all big car development, and a very passionate BMW guy who's going to talk us through a lot more detail about the car, so I can obviously as a potential owner understand a little bit more. But let's hear it from the expert now, and then I guess I'm gonna kind of have to make a bit of a decision. All right, leave me to it. A M8 competition convertible. So I've not seen this car. I don't think. Have you seen one, Blue? No. No. M8 competition. Beautiful. And then the color on that as well, I think, is a bit more of a heritage color. But look at this over here. It is almost like my Performante red. This is M850i with a carbon fiber roof. Looks amazing. I think these cars look fantastic, actually. I haven't properly spent time looking at them, but ignore me and just look at the cars. It looks so nice. Okay guys, so as promised, we've now got Suk here, so thanks a lot for joining me, who's basically head of...
So, a product manager for large cars.
Okay, fine. So, product manager for large cars, which is exactly what this car definitely is.
It is indeed.
And we've been obviously in the 7 Series before, and I don't know much about these cars, and I'm genuinely, as you guys have seen, looking at buying one of these cars. So, you can maybe give everybody at home as well as me a little bit of a lowdown of how this has changed from the previous 7 Series, and anything that's important that you think talking about the car, you know?
Definitely, Anish. Well, the 7 Series is an incredibly important car for us. It's our flagship luxury saloon, after all. And throughout its generations, it's really grown in terms of its luxury product substance, its technology, and its digitalization. This car is no different. We actually announced this in January as the official facelift of the 7 Series. Some big changes with this car, which is unusual for a facelift.
The first obvious one that we see is obviously the grille, right?
Yeah, the grille.
We obviously see it straight off the bat.
You're right, the grille has grown about 40% compared to the predecessor. It's now joined in the middle by this one-piece frame as well, which is unusual, but it follows the latest design language. But it's not just the grille that's grown, we've actually had to purposely increase the size of the BMW roundel to ensure that's in proportion with the car.
So it's noticeably bigger, you can tell now, but it's good, you know, like when you're driving a luxury car like this, kind of like even with the Mercedes, you've got the badge up there at the front, the Rolls Royce where it comes up, it's good that you've got that as a focal point there. Okay, what else?
So the car, as you've quite rightly mentioned, it feels a lot higher than the predecessor. It's around 50mm higher from the front.
So it is actually higher. Okay,
exactly
fine, right. Okay.
Unlike some of the other facelifts we've done in the past, some big changes with the front apron here, completely redesigned, but also the headlights now adaptive LEDs compared to LEDs what they were before. So you get greater levels of visibility, the adaptive functionality, and also high beam assistance. So not only enhanced visibility, but also the fact that you've got a complete redesign and headlight.
So let's just, with that, it's got the headlights basically, if they're on full, sometimes it kind of hides from one side, so if a car's oncoming, this has that?
It does indeed, so adaptive LEDs draws in high beams.
Draws in high beams and things like that, and of course the standard, when it turns, it'll move with the car where you're turning, right, as well? Yes, okay, fine. Alright, good, so that's important to know. Camera in there, or a scanning system?
It's called a radar dome.
Okay, fine.
So it's part of the driving assistance systems. Now this car, it has the latest driving assistance technology, where it monitors the distance between the car and front and regulates the speed accordingly. But also steering lane keeping assistant to keep the car in lane.
Mercedes has almost got it here. I don't know exactly where they've got it. Actually.
They've got it in the grille. We've
grill.
kept it quite low to the ground. That way, it's not as intrusive.
Yeah, because they've tried to hide it, and it's one thing I don't like about the car, because you've got this beautiful grille that's at the front there, and they've kind of like hidden it, which really annoys me.
It's great about the 7 Series. It still has that very elegant silhouette that we all learned to love with this car. It's got a redesigned air breather, so this air breather lets in more air, so it's aerodynamically more efficient. So
one thing that is so important, sorry to interrupt, one thing that's the most important thing to me is, and I've said it with the other car as well, that when the car has these larger alloys, sometimes you really feel the difference. I found it, I really like the bigger alloys on the S-Class, but I went for the smaller ones. With the bigger alloys, it's still as comfortable, right, with these cars?
I'd have to say so. This car comes with 2-axle air suspension. So as a result, once you've got large alloy wheels, the damping effect is incredible, but you still get that dynamic feeling as you'd expect from the BMW.
Okay, fine. So as well here, going along the car here, this is also a long wheelbase one as well. So again, I was just showing you like how huge it is.
So with this model, you have 2 body styles, the standard wheelbase and also the long wheelbase. So for those customers that want additional legroom in the rear, this is the model to go for. A new paint for the new facelift model. But equally, with this being a facelift model, and I mentioned some of the big changes with this car, towards the rear, completely redesigned taillights. These taillights are around 35mm slimmer than the outgoing model. They're full LED and sculpted, but equally you get this taillight bar that runs from taillight to taillight, all the way across, directly underneath the chrome bar. Really adds to that word that you used earlier, presence of the car from the rear profile.
It looks like it gives it a little bit of aggression to what should also be a classy car, which is nice that you've got that little balance. And one thing that's so important to me here, which I don't know if you'll be able to answer, is also the space that's in here. So I'm comparing this again to the S-Class. You've got like quite a bit of height here, which is fantastic.
It is.
So we have everything under here, like spare wheels and things, or not really on this now?
Typically with this,
I always travel all the time, and I've always got 2 suitcases, and I can never fit it inside the 2 in the boot of that car. This side of the car is the same as that side of the car.
Exactly.
Maybe we jump inside.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll have a look at this car, or there's quite a nice one that's inside.
Yeah, we'll check out the one inside. That's the 750i V8.
Yes. So I read some individual on the seats and things like that. I think we'll check that inside of that one. So we're now in the other 7 Series, which has the executive lounge pack, which to me is like one of the most important things, because in my S-Class I've got that beautiful leg rest, whereas here now with these comfy carpets as well, I can sit back, put my feet up here and relax. Tell me that isn't pure luxury. I love the interior on this car as well, with this light interior and the kind of quilted, it's beautiful, and Alcantara on the on the roof here as well. It is really, really nice. And this is kind of like a light here as well. So I guess you can put that on as well, which is kind of cool. Nice kind of ambient level of lighting as well, which is cool. So yeah, I want to show you the interior of the one that's inside though. So let's go and talk about all the tech and everything else in that one. Okay, fine. So now we've come inside to see a very special, especially the interior of the car, but it also looks quite nice from the outside. Slightly dusty, which is hiding it a little bit, but this is what you said, it's a carbon black?
Yes, so this is a colour that we've had for a number of years now,
Yeah.
carbon black, massively popular across our range. And with this, it's an M Sport colour, so it's unique to the M Sport.
Okay.
This is actually our 750i, so this is our Halo V8 engine.
V8.
530 horsepower and a 0-62 time of just 4 seconds. So
4 seconds, really? Wow, that is fantastic. That is really quick.
Yeah.
4 seconds.
Exactly. But the black exterior paint,
Yeah.
what really helps, I think if you step inside, for example, you'll see
Fiona Red.
it's a new upholstery that we introduced at the facelift stage.
Right.
And again, it sets it off really nicely against the carbon black. But it's not just the colour that's different on this car. We actually enhanced the quilting on the individual leathers. There's enhanced quilting on the armrests and the centre console. Again, really to add to the
luxury feel, right? It makes a massive difference. Really, really does. And this has got BMW individual written on the seats. Is that something a little bit different than?
Yeah, so the Marina leather is our finest quality leather.
Okay.
As standard, you get what we Napa leather as standard. But for those customers that want to upgrade to something finer, then Merino leather is the option to go for. Merino is always our individual upholstery.
Now, I'm not very comfortable in this position, and I think I'll be much better sitting in a comfortable position. So should we jump in and talk around the coolest part of this car, which is the tech?
Yeah,
let's do that. I think what we'll do is just to show how quiet this car is. You can hear general noise that's around. But if we close the doors, because you told me this car is quite quiet, it's literally like a cocoon. And that is because you were telling me something, right, about this, the thickness of the glass or something?
Definitely, Anish. Well, the 7 Series is always about interior passenger comfort.
Right.
And the pre-facelift model that we had was already very soundproofed. But we made some enhancements. The glass is slightly thicker, around 5.1 millimeters.
Right.
But there's also additional levels of sound deadening in the rear wheel arch as well. So we've taken it one step further with the soundproofing.
Yeah, I mean, there's people walking around, and I saw this in the other car as well when we were driving on the way here. It's so much quieter. Big comparison against the S-Class as well, like is a lot quieter. And this one obviously is now not got the lounge pack and everything like the other car that we were in.
Correct.
So that has like the double sunroof and everything as well at that time. But it's still got enough space, right? I mean, and if you want a little bit more light, we've got the lighting here as well, which is good as well. So it's a whole thing. And
exactly that. Yeah. I mean, this is a standard wheelbase, so you don't benefit from the executive lounge seating option. But equally,
there's still space.
Yeah.
We've got these beautiful screens here that actually work unlike other cars. They're wide screens. These are 1080p, you were saying as well? Yes. Blu-ray even you can play on them?
Absolutely. So we had the rear seat entertainment package on the pre-facelift model.
Yeah.
But you get, as part of that package, 2 1080p 10.2-inch screens, which from the LCI, the facelift, are now touchscreen.
Okay.
So they're more intuitive to use, easy to use, and as I mentioned, full 1080p high definition screens.
And you said you can even, and I saw this as an option as well, you can actually mirror the phone, right? So if you have an Android phone, you can basically show what's on your phone on the screen.
Exactly that. So screen mirroring is an option,
Yeah.
and to really future-proof this technology, a series of USB Type-C sockets are also available as part of the AC.
Because you guys have got to be thinking ahead of BMW, the fact that potentially, obviously, we know that the rival to this car is the S-Class as well as probably the Audi A8, right, and that kind of car. So trying to future-proof it to think about what they're going to be coming out with first. Because I'm excited to see what S-Class do, Mercedes do with the S-Class. But yeah, and the one thing that I hope they do, if they do, but this is really cool, is this thing which you kind of just lifts itself up. And this is a Samsung tablet basically that you can use in the car as a tablet as well as to control the car and its tablet as itself, right?
Exactly that. So certain features, like if you wanted to observe satellite navigation information or adjust the ambient lighting system, you can do from the tablet, but also use it in a conventional way because it has access to the car's onboard Wi-Fi and everything else. So
I love the way it pops out to just kind of present itself to you. Like I said, we can just use it as a normal tablet as well, which is really cool. And then of course got the BMW app to access everything in the car. But I'm genuinely so impressed with it. It's so cool. And is this an extra option, or this comes standard with the car?
It's an extra option as part of what we call the comfort package. There's 2 levels of comfort package, comfort pack and also comfort plus pack.
So again, if you want this car but you don't necessarily want all these gadgets to come with it, you can still get it without this kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in love with it. I think it's genuinely really nice. I think everybody in the comments should be letting me know as well, because I keep saying about, I know you're going to be biased, but between the S-Class and the 7 Series, which one I should go for, I'm a big fan of tech, and this is just really stepped things up. Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Luke. I really appreciate you talking around the car. Now you've left me with the dilemma, which hopefully everybody is going to help me with. So let me know in the comments, do you think I should be making my way over to a BMW and basically get rid of all the Mercedes that I have and now just move completely to BMW? Let me know in the comments. Right, before I wrap it up, I'm going to spend a little bit more time in this beautiful interior and then head off. Okay, so I'm now here with Chris, who is, you can explain what you do here at BMW?
Yeah, so I'm the product manager for BMW Connected Drive and the technologies that sit within the vehicles.
Right,
so
okay, fine.
What this is, as the vehicle's moving forward up to a speed of about 20 miles an hour, it's memorising the route it's just taken.
Okay.
Flick it into reverse, and then the car will control the steering for you in reverse. So all you've got to do is concentrate on the accelerator and what's going on around you. So a great safety and convenience feature.
Yeah. While we're driving around, what's that there above the dash there?
Right, so that's a camera.
Okay.
So what that's doing is it's looking at my eye levels.
Okay.
Basically making sure that I'm concentrating on what's going on around me.
I see.
I'm not getting tired.
Okay.
And if I am getting tired, it's then going to pick up and say, actually, it's probably time to take a break. So what I'm going to do here is just a bit of an extreme.
Yes.
Just move around a little bit with the vehicle.
Right.
Into reverse. Reversing assistant. What I will do, so car's going to concentrate on the steering.
Okay.
I've now noticed there's a vehicle coming, so it allows me to work out actually one less thing to do. Because I can look around to see what's going on with the vehicle. So you see, I'm not touching the wheel. All I'm doing is just tapping the accelerator a little bit. And this will work up to a speed backwards of about 6 miles an hour.
Wow.
So what you'll start to see is the vehicle now follow the route that I've just taken.
And you're controlling the throttle and the brake?
Is the accelerator and the brake, that's it.
Ah, okay. And is that always on, essentially? It's always kind of...
That's right, always on up to a speed of 20 miles an hour. So when you go above that, that's where it kicks out.
Right. And you described it as basically if you're driving down a country lane, if there's a lorry coming and it's like it's a bit too tight, you can just switch this into reverse, select reversing assistant, and take yourself back while you're concentrating to look around.
That's right, yeah.
Right, cool. So do we need to drive it forward now, or will it do it itself?
Yeah, so,
we'll drive it.
Elements it'll drive forwards, if we drive it forwards.
Yeah, and we'll park it up. And then I think we're going to jump into the car that's inside, which is quite a cool interior.
Yep.
And have a look a little bit more at the tech, and you can talk us a little bit through the iDrive and connectivity. So lastly, the thing that we're going to go through with Chris, which is really important for actually when you're driving this car, and of course when you're sitting in the back as well, is what we all know is essentially the iDrive system, but this is the most up-to-date number. Is it version 7?
That's correct,
yeah. Okay, fine. So if you just give us like maybe a whistle-stop tour of each of the ones and different features that we've got, because I know there's some cool stuff with music and assistant and all of that stuff as well.
Cool. So, as you say, it's the new operating system, so it's 7.0. So it's our advancement on ID6. Instantly you'll recognise a new interface, and as soon as you get into the vehicle you're greeted with a welcome. Moving forward then, it gives you the opportunity to link it to your Connected Drive account.
Okay.
Linking it to your Connected Drive account means if you've got multiple BMWs, you can just move between them and it memorises your seat settings. So when you get into the next one, just hit enter Chris's account.
Yeah.
The seat moves, the favourite destinations pull through, and the radio stations too.
Oh wow!
So that's one of the instant personalisation.
So does that mean
elements.
even then that, like, let's say, so I sometimes have different drivers who are driving me. They can have their own kind of profile completely set up, and everything will move to the car based on that profile. Okay, fine. It's not just like a seat memory, a steering wheel memory. It's literally everything in the car.
Yeah. So the mirrors, the heated settings. If they use the voice interaction, that stores elements of data within that as well.
Wow.
And that pulls through too.
That is cool.
So instantly you've got a new design face that you'll recognise.
Yep.
The great thing about this is treat it as a phone interface.
Yeah.
So what you've got is it's completely customisable. So you can have up to 10 pages. So you can customise it to have information that's relevant to the driver. Makes sense. Instead of those kind of old setting versions, like even like my S-Class, it's like you have to choose between media, this and that, and scroll through those, whereas this is what you want to see. Perfect, yeah. That's correct. Yeah. And there's multiple input methods too. So we've still got the iDrive controller. Yep. So you can still input via there. Yep. It's got touchscreen as well.
Of course.
It's also got gesture control.
Okay.
So gestures, things like turning the volume up, answering a call, rejecting a call.
I always see this pop up in the M5, right, when I'm driving around it, but all I know is the volume up and down. There's other ones, is there?
Yeah, so there's volume up and down. So if we...
Yep, that's fine.
So radio's now on.
Yep.
So if you want the volume up,
yep,
obviously
you can turn it up and lower it down.
But if you want to change or mute it, for example, you can mute it.
Two fingers in,
and then turn it back on. It's the same.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Skipping tracks as well now. So quick movement that way.
Ah, okay.
Movement that way. That works on radio stations too. Quick like that. That'll answer the phone call. Or if you don't want to answer it, quick swipe or reject the call as well. If you have any pop-ups as well during the navigation, so say through RTTI where it's maybe recommending a different route, but you want to stick on the route you're on, quick swipe, it removes it all. So again, this is where it just allows the driver to focus what's going on ahead, and rather than have to look down, find, scroll, delete, or reach, touch, delete. Moving into the instrument display, what you'll see is this is now fully digital.
Yes.
So it's the first fully digital display we've had on a vehicle. Yes. And again, this is quite customizable in its own right. So it shows the speeds, all the driver assistance systems as well that we kind of spoke about earlier. That shows in there too. Yeah. So elements like lane keep assistant, lane change warning, things like that will store within that too. And also, not forgetting then, so you've got these two elements for information to be displayed. Yes. You've also got head-up display. Okay, fine. So it's our latest generation head-up display. It's 70% larger than previous generations. If I'm honest, I don't really use the instrument cluster anymore. Yes. I use the head-up display. Right. Because the information I want to see is there, in front of you, and it means I can hands on the steering wheel,
only looking out the road,
and I've got the information I need. Yeah. But elements like connected music. So this is where it will connect with your music streaming service, and you can then just download a song directly to the vehicle. So
this 7 Series is genuinely, it's almost like a new car. It's not just a facelift with all of this tech and everything inside. That's fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot moving forward. Wow. And the final piece, really just to flag, is the new voice control. Okay. So it's called Intelligent Personal Assistant, and now really there's no need to press a button. It just responds to a prompt of "Hey BMW." Okay. That can be customized to pretty much any name you want. Yeah. Cool. Again,
all the focus basically now is to get your hands staying on the steering wheel. Yeah. Even that is assisted as sometimes as well, but just taking away from all that stuff. So it's unbelievable the amount of tech that you can do. I think we were discussing earlier, right? Mm-hmm. It was a big deal when you used to have Bluetooth in your car. Yeah, exactly. And now some of this is cleverer than some of the stuff that we have in our own house as well. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. It really, really is. Okay guys, and that is a proper wrap now on everything. So really enjoyed the kind of talk through, and I hope you guys have been a little bit more informed with the 7 Series. I'm kind of taking you along this process because it looks like I am leaning this way, and I've just had a chat off camera which might take us through. If you remember, I was talking to you about the potential speccing of a car. We might be able to take you through the whole process of you guys actually being directly involved with speccing a car for BMW, but might look like now that I will be taking. So stay tuned for that, seriously. And if you do want it to happen, just let me know in the comments, because we will make that happen. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do you agree? Do you think I should maybe go over to the 7 Series now and move on, even if it's to just see what the S-Class comes out with later on, because we don't know when that car's coming out. But I've been super impressed. I've really liked it. Let me know what you guys think. Remember to like the video, subscribe, do all the other bits, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye.